This is Lina Rose. Lina is interested to buy a piece of land. She scrolls through an advertisement of land through online and found a few advertisements. Later, she is interested to buy a piece of land, which is a Malay reservation land owned by Azli. However, she has concern on how to purchase the land and to whom should Lina refers to. And finally, she got an idea. She needs to contact a law firm to explain the procedure to her. Hello, is this Nadia and Co law firm?
Yes, this is Nadia and Co.
So actually, I am interested to buy this piece of land, which is a Malay reservation land in Mukim Klang, Selangor. But the problem is, I don't know how can I purchase the land.
Oh, I can help you with that. For that, you need to appoint me as your lawyer.
Yeah, sure, I would like to appoint you as my solicitor.
Can you please email me all the relevant particulars of the land?
The particulars are your NRIC, the title deed of the land, purchase price, and the amount of deposit that you wanted to pay to Mr. Azli.
Okay, Miss Nadia, I will do so. Thank you so much.
Based on the email, the findings are Miss Lina wanted to pay by cash. The land is a Malay reserve land in Selangor. The purchase price is 255,500 ringgit. She agreed to pay 10% of the deposit, which is 25k, and the land has executive charge with Maya Bank.
The next part is searches. Searches are part of the inquiry stage. This preliminary step is to make sure that the parties, which is Miss Lina and Mr. Azli, are eligible in law to be registered as owner or interest holder under the statute, and the land in question is the actual property that the parties intend to be subject matter of the land. Briefly, there are 3 stages. Firstly, private land, which is under section 384 of the NLC. Secondly is bankruptcy search at the bankruptcy office. This is to make sure Miss Lina is not barred from being registered as the owner or interest holder. This is prescribed under section 43 of the NLC. And finally, site visit to the land in question. This is to make sure that the actual location and other matters relating to the land, such as whether to see the land is occupied or not.
Miss Nadia, who's acting on behalf of Miss Lina, would then prepare the relevant documents prior to the execution and attestation process. First, the sale and purchase agreement, which is the contractual agreement between the purchaser, Miss Lina, and the vendor, Mr. Azli. Second, Form 14A is according to Section 215, Subsection 1 of National Land Code 1965, which provides that any transfer of alienated land shall be effected by instrument in Form 14A. Third, Form CKHT2A, which refers to the purchaser's tax form under the Real Property Gains Tax Act 1976, which serves as the notification of the purchase. Fourth, Form CKHT 502, which explains a payment of retention sum as pursuant to Section 21 Capital B of the Real Property Gains Tax Act 1976. Next, Form 19B, which is used for the purpose of applying for an entry of private caveat as pursuant to Section 323 Subsection 2 of National Land Code 1965. Last but not least, Form 19G, which is used for the purpose of withdrawal of private caveat as pursuant to Section 325 Subsection 1 of National Land Code 1965.
Then, the sale and purchase agreement are passed to the vendor solicitor to be vetted.
Hello, Miss Nadia. I am Elena. Just now you called me to come here to your office to execute the documents, right? Why do I need to execute it?
Yes, Miss Lina. After the preparation of Form 14A, both parties must execute the form. This process must be observed according to Section 210, Clause 1 of the NLC. This process must also be attested as per Section 211. The qualified witness are provided in fifth schedule of the NLC, and since this land is a Malay reserve land, then the attester would be the land administrator.
Thank you so much, Miss Nadia, for your explanation. Now, where do I execute it?
Just sign where I have marked.
The next step would be sending the sale and purchase agreement to Stamp Office for stamping. Miss Nadia, who's representing Miss Lina as her solicitor, need to go through the stamping process according to Stamp Act 1949. Once all executed documents has been returned to Miss Lina's solicitor, the sale and purchase agreement has to be stamped, in which a nominal fee of 10 ringgit per copy is charged by the stamp office.
Then, the purchaser solicitor will instruct the vendor solicitor to obtain the redemption statement.
Hello, good morning. This is Fakhira, the solicitor on behalf of Maya Bank. How may I help you?
Hello and good morning, Miss Fakhira. This is Harman calling from Antonio & Co. So here, I would like to request if you could provide me the redemption statement on the amount that he owed on his existing mortgage to make this land free from encumbrances.
Okay, Mr. Harman, I will get to you once I'm ready with your request. The solicitor appointed by Maya Bank will issue a redemption statement to be forwarded to the vendor solicitor. In the redemption statement, it informs the borrower of the total remaining amount which needs to be paid up, known as the redemption sum. This sum refers to the entire outstanding sum that you owe to the bank, such as interest rate, charges, fees, and any penalties you may have accumulated. The bank will also usually charge an administrative fee for each request to issue a redemption statement.
Good morning, this is Nadia, the purchaser solicitor. I would like to inform you that my client had already paid the redemption sum. We would like to request for the bank to proceed with the next step. Thank you.
Upon receiving the redemption sum, the vendor bank solicitor will prepare Form 16N, which is a document for discharge of charge. The vendor bank solicitor will then stamp Form 16N, which the stamp duty will be 10 ringgit under Stamping Item 39 of Stamp Act 1949. The vendor bank solicitor will forward the relevant documents, which are Form 16N, stamp duty for Form 16N, original IDT, quit warrant receipt, and prescribed fee for discharge of charge to the purchaser solicitor. Once payment has been made, the purchaser solicitor will lodge a private caveat for the purchaser onto the land to ensure that the purchaser of the land has protection against the owner selling it to another party. The preparation of caveat form is entered using Form 19B, which is duly completed, executed, and attested. According to the case of On Chat Fang, Aziz's role as the vendor was limited to that of a bare trustee, and that Lina had a caveatable interest in the land once entered into a valid sale and purchase agreement and paid a deposit. Together with Form 19B, a statutory declaration expressly stated the ground for caveating must be prepared. The caveator must also pay fees for the caveat's registration or entrance, according to Section 323, Clause 3. The registrar will lodge the caveat after receiving Form 19B and the specified fees at the land office, and it will be affected by endorsement on the RDT. The documents to be sent for adjudication are the duly completed Form 14A, photostat copy of IDT, and 5 copies of PDS 15 form. The Stamp Duty Office will send the notice taksiran that states the market value of the property and notifies the stamp duty payable on Form 14A. To calculate stamp duty payable is that the first 100,000 ringgit of the purchase price is equal to 1% of stamp duty rate, while the next 100,001 till 500,000 of the purchase price is equal to 2% of stamp duty rate. The purchase price of the land here is 255,500 ringgit. Hence, the stamp duty rate for the first 100,000 ringgit is 1,000 ringgit, while the stamp duty rate for the remaining 155,500 ringgit is equal to 3,110 ringgit. The total amount of stamp duty payable is 4,110 ringgit. The purchaser solicitor will then proceed to present Form 14A, Form 16N, original IDT, sale and purchase agreement, and quit rent receipt for registration.
Next, what I would do is conduct the final land search, pay balance of purchase price to the vendor solicitor, pay the sum of apportionment to the vendor solicitor, and request for vacant possession from the vendor.
Is there any progress about the land?
Oh yes, Miss Lina. I'm happy to inform you that everything has settled in purchasing the land. Now you will receive the vacant possession from Mr. Azli, and I will also forward to you the new IDT from the land office. The land is officially yours.
Thank you, Miss Nadia. Thank you so much. Finally, I am the new landowner.
I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got